Hi, everybody. Here we
So,
are for another night of the
yes.
Sisters of Mystical Tarot, and it is Heather's night on crystals. So I thought she'd tell us all about
Yes,
that today.
and thank you, Ivana, for hosting me because we typically have seven, people in our group, and I was like, I can't do seven. I don't have enough room. So, Allie emailed us and said that she's stuck in a meeting at school, so it's
I
going to be
feel
the
for
three of
her.
us. So, yeah, trying to figure out what it was that I wanted to talk about. And it was kind of like, well, duh, why not talk about your crystals or have people talk about crystals? So
Absolutely.
I thought it would be fun to pick one or two or three. And if you have a couple little extra ones, what your favorite crystals are and why they are your favorite. And maybe share any little fun facts or something, if you know about like, where the crystal actually came from, any history, how you even got it, can be a fun story. So I thought, oh, here comes everybody now. As I
Yeah.
said, hi, Linda and MK Karen. Hi, Ivana. I'm like, boom, boom, boom. Oh, hi, Ivana. So
Yeah.
everybody's popping in. So let me just do that. And so I'll go last. I don't know who would like to go first and share.
Well, I
Well,
can
since
go
I know
first.
nothing, I can go first.
Oh, okay. I can go first.
She knows more than she had,
I know zit zero zip about stones. Um, I was told that I needed to keep a lot of amethyst
Mm-hmm.
close to me. That Jen told me that from Jen's World, and so I have several amethyst stones now. But I guess my favorite gemstone or crystal or whatever you want to call it are pearls. But that's my birthstone, and I've just always resonated with pearls, and don't know anything about them except that I like them. Same with gems, with the crystals and the stones. I don't know anything about any of them, but I like them. I like the way they look. I have collected quite a few now that I've got little bowls sitting around the house, and just
There
because
you
it's,
go.
I figure that they can't hurt. They got to bring something in. So,
What is it that you like about them? The energy, the color, the way they're faceted, things like that. You
um,
don't have to know
well, a lot of
metaphysics.
the ones I have are more like this. They're just rounded stones that I got at, like, when you order from Etsy through
Mm-hmm.
some of the sellers. They include like a little bag of rocks or gemstones, and so I've gotten several of those now, and I just like the way they look. When I was a little girl, I had a geode split in half that we had bought up in North Texas. We were going up to Oklahoma to visit family, and it was. I'm assuming it was an amethyst because I just remember it was purple. I was
Yeah.
like seven. I was like, no, 8 or 9 years old. I couldn't have told you what it was, but it was just this ugly rock. Yeah,
Like that.
and the inside was all. The first time I watched Lori Positive Way and that huge amethyst geode she has behind her, I was like, oh my God, she's got my rock. That's exactly what it looked like. And so I don't know where it is. I've not found it for years. So who knows what happened to it. But yeah, I've always been fascinated by that. And I love bling and I love jewelry. So can't afford the real stuff, but what the heck.
Well, amethyst is good for dreams. It's good for psychic intuition. It's good for healing, and just to name a few. So I can understand the amethyst being told, to be by you, because it's a purple stone. It's our intuition. It's our third eye and our one of our other higher chakras. So
And I
that's a
like
good stone
purple.
to keep around. And I know that Jen also recommended for intuitive and reading and psychic ability is also labradorite. So
Oh.
This is wonderful. I'm really looking forward to learning a lot because
And pearls are very calming and soothing.
Yes,
Yeah.
and pearls are not technically a stone or a crystal because they're actually taken from a living entity. This was something that I thought was found really interesting. Scott Cunningham, in the 80s, before he passed away, did a book on gemstones and metals and things, and he included pearls because he knows a lot of people like
Yeah.
to include pearls. And he did put a reminder stating that just so that people know, if because he was very ethical in how where he got his crystals, how things were resourced, and he let people who practitioners know that when you get a pearl, just know that a living creature was killed for it, because they have to open them up, scrape them out, and kill the clam or the shell that it came
Yeah.
in for them to be able to harvest that. So he said to be aware of where you're if you're that concerned about yeah, I can't even say that, but you know what I mean.
Ethically
Ethical.
sourced.
Yes,
Yeah.
thank you. So that was something
Well,
I was very big on.
I have to say the most beautiful pearl I ever saw was I worked for a wholesale jewelry manufacturer that we housed all the stuff that jewelers bought their gemstones and stuff from. And I worked in the sales department. And about once a week, we would take a trip through the manufacturing side in different areas just to see how they dealt with the gemstones, how they made them, like how they smelted gold and platinum. That was
Yep.
fascinating work, to just watch how they did it. But one day we got to go into the vault to see diamonds that are naturally phosphorus, that are blue and red and green. And these are diamonds, and they were like big suckers too. And but they glowed, because of the phosphorus in it. And one, they had a black Tahitian pearl. It wasn't it wasn't one of the ones that they farm, that they'll
Right.
farm them. They have a special name. This was like in the wild. That pearl had to have been that big around. I mean, that sucker was huge. Wholesale, it was worth over $75,000 for one pearl
Yeah.
because it was black, and it was like a dark, almost black. Most black pearls are more of a gray or murky color. They're not, that's kind of how you can tell if it's real or not. If they look black, they've been treated. They're not real. And so black pearls are usually kind of a smoky or a gray color. And this one was nearly perfectly black. It was gorgeous. And I just remember thinking, if only I had the money for that.
Yeah.
Yeah, you have to take out
Yeah.
a loan. Just really
Mind
quick
you.
too. Good books to start with crystals. Anything by Judy Hall. I like this one because the pictures are a bit bigger than in the tiny little crystal Bible that she put out. And it's called The Encyclopedia of Crystals by Judy Hall. That's a really good book I recommend for crystals. And there's a third edition. I have the second, but the Book of Stones by Robert Simmons and Asian. Her name is always hard for me to pronounce. Nisha Asian or ASEAN. So there's a third edition I'm going to have to get out. But these are really great because, especially, this one, because they will cover, they'll give you the key words, they'll give you the element, and they'll also give you the chakras that it's associated with.
Interesting.
That's a
But-
really expensive book, but it's quite detailed.
Yeah.
Oh, wait, back then $30. This was going back to 2007. So yeah,
Yeah.
by now it's probably the new edition's probably a lot more than that. I bet.
Let me
But
see what mine is. I don't know.
Because while working at the crystal store in Flagstaff, I was able to get all my crystals and my books and stuff for half off.
Oh,
So,
nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, when I lived in Phoenix and we would drive to California, we would go right through Courtside. And that was cool because there was a little shop right there on the interstate. You could stop and go in and pick up any kind of rock or gemstone you wanted to find. They had something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All different sizes. It was amazing. It was like, wow. And
I can
Sorry,
tell
that's
you
a
there's
fly.
in some parts of Europe, I know in my culture, um, pearls have always been thought of as a bringer of tears. So they say never buy yourself a pearl because you're inviting tears. So yeah, that's one thing that I don't own pearls. I like the other shiny stuff, the
Hmm.
crow in a past life, I'm sure. But yeah,
I used to
Oh,
love
yeah.
getting pearls for my
probably
jewelry.
why I like bling. So yeah.
yeah,
Val,
And the
you
pearls
you have
turn
no-
My
on.
current pearl that I have is not very big. So
Pearl works to the
Yeah.
crown chakra,
Nice.
and
okay.
it radiates to the color white.
Mhm.
But I don't know if it has to be a white pearl. And all this is just what people say. I mean, who really
Yeah.
knows?
Yeah.
Yeah, and we all,
Yeah.
and the poor thing is too with these books is that
I have numerous.
this is
many.
basics of what's known for crystals, but like
Yeah, they all say different
Alice,
things.
Alice just said, what matters most is you can go by that, but most of all, go by your intuition, how the stone or the crystal makes you feel.
Yep.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I want to see what book got Allison. Allison, did you want to go next?
It's the first edition.
Okay. Yeah, the second edition contains the metallic ion treated crystals, which I absolutely love. Depending on who's selling them, and kind of got to feel the energy for them. But they brought in a third author to be able to cover those, because a lot of crystal practitioners don't like to use them because they're treated. But for me, it's like, where did the person get the idea to do that? Possibly from spirit. And
I like
with
that.
the enhancing,
Yeah.
with you're adding that metallic,
Right.
well, people might be doing it maybe a lot more for profit.
It's not in here.
There are going to be those elements coming in through the metals that work with the energy in the crystal to enhance it.
Right. Very true.
Ooh.
So who's next?
I can go next if you want.
Okay, yeah. Because I know you had a book really quick too.
I did have the same. had another Judy Hall
I
encyclopedia.
used to have that. Yeah.
Yeah, this
I
is a
gave to a
good
friend.
one. It's the same kind of thing, but I always go back to my Bible.
Oh,
This
the
is my
melody.
Bible, but it doesn't have pictures. But that's the most detail you can get on every thing known
Yeah.
to mankind. So even if I have the picture somewhere else, I still go back to melody. Love is in the earth. It's like you can see. It's my Bible.
Yeah.
Did y'all see what Linda Gonzalez wrote in the chat?
yeah.
That's interesting.
So the first one
It
I
is.
really, really love is let's see if you can see it here. This is a pendulum of it. It's opal.
Opalite?
It's actually called opal aura. So it's a clear quartz bonded with a platinum, creating a pearly sheen and pale rainbow iridescence, if you can see that rainbow iridescence.
Mhm.
It's very intense. It's like a rainbow, full of optimism and joy. And it's strong energy that cleans the aura, stimulates and balances all chakras, opens a deep state of meditative awareness. It integrates the light body into the physical dimension. And it also grounds information you get into the physical body. So it's super helpful. It does so many things. So then moving on to my next one, which I love, tangerine quartz, one of my favorite things. And it also, and you can tell from the color, it brings joy, amplifies clear quartz. It gives a new perspective and fresh ideas to people, and a connection to the angelic realms. And it brings creativity, inspired ideas, enthusiasm, and passion. So this is great. If you're creating things, sitting, writing, whatever you're doing, have this by you.
That what is that again? I didn't hear you.
This is tangerine quartz.
Awesome. Thank you.
Tangerine quartz.
Now, is that one of the enhanced ones? Because I think I have a small
I
piece
think-
of that.
I think tangerine quartz, if I'm not mistaken, is enhanced, such as strawberry quartz or whatever quartz. Even,
I have these two quartz,
you know.
just plain crystal.
but at the same time, I don't care if you look in Melodies, Love is in the Earth, or any other, you're going to get something about this because it carries these properties. It really does. So then I'm moving on to this really fun pyrite. Don't
Oh,
forget
Love
about
pyrite.
pyrite.
Pyrite's cool.
Oh, it's in the
Yeah.
shape of a heart. Love
Pyrite
it.
is in, I shameless plug, you can buy all these crystals on my website.
Oh, I didn't know you had a website to sell crystals.
I do. And here's
Yeah.
this beautiful pyrite. I mean, as a kid, I was so attracted to pyrite. You might see it as you get along a river, shining like it's gold, and you want to get down and pick it up. And I've always been fascinated and attracted to it. And it has the
Sparkly.
most amazing properties. So it's furious disulfate, and it's often called fool's gold for its brassy color. Pyrite, like quartz and gold, seems to congregate due to hydrothermal action. So around things like Yellowstone or wherever you'll find them. And pyrite has a salt-like structure that is usually non-stoichiometric, having iron and becoming semiconducting and magnetic. So you can imagine this little semiconducting property, which was also used as a common semiconductor 100 years ago in a crystal radio sets. So
Yeah.
what
Oh,
I'm
yes.
saying is,
Mhm.
imagine this as a transmitter or a receiver of energy. It's a powerful stone for generating wealth and abundance, brings luck and prosperity. It's a very protective crystal. It's actually mineral, but it stimulates intellect, enhances memory, helping recall relevant information when needed. Also great for grounding and any manifestation. So don't forget about your pyrite.
And I know Jance Free asked if black tourmaline would be good for a pendulum. I think any stone that is you are drawn to be a pendulum is the one that you should get.
Absolutely. I just have one shameless more to go
Oh,
because I did 4 instead of 3 because I couldn't leave out.
I didn't
number
want to.
one.
I didn't want to lose her question.
Oh no,
That's
she-
cute.
absolutely great answer, Heather, because whatever you're drawn to is what you need, and there's no right
Yes.
about what you use for your
Yes.
pendulum.
Yes.
Mhm.
You know, don't ever stop yourself. Oh, well, this is supposed to do that. Nah, just go for it
Yes.
because that's what you're supposed to have and use. And if you
Mhm.
have the inclination to use it as a pendulum, go for it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I have a rose
Yeah, I have.
gold, tiger's eye,
There you go.
Oh,
and just a white
Yeah.
crystal. White.
Yeah. Whatever you're drawn to is what you're
Yeah.
supposed to have.
Yeah.
And so
Ooh,
we go to quartz crystal, which is my absolute
favorite. Yep,
my
that's beautiful.
favorite thing in the
everybody
whole
loves
world.
their quartz.
Me
Yep.
too. It's absolutely the best.
Because you
And
can charge it for anything.
it's just so amazing. So it symbolizes the integration of body, mind, and spirit. It connects body, mind, and spirit with the strength and strengthens the seeker, accessing wisdom from within and without. This is a channeling crystal. I'm reading the attributes of this particular crystal. And if you want to learn about attributes of a crystal and understand what kind you have, look in Melodies, Love is in the Earth, and all these are here. Let me back up and say that it amplifies both body, energy, and thoughts, bringing clarity to thinking, enabling thoughts to be more effectively and influence matter. In other words, it amplifies manifestation. But the attributes of this particular crystal and you can look it up in Melodies in the Earth. It has a channeling, dolphin, interdimensional, Lemurian crossover, receiver, and comet. And each one of those attributes does something amazing for you. And you can work with it in that way. Like a Lemurian crossover holds one with source consciousness. So you can channel the information for every crystal you own and know how to work with it and know what it does for you, what its gifts
Wow.
and attributes are. Shameless plug. I sell this. This is item 585.
No shame.
My
Val, can you put your, or somebody, can they put your website in there? So that way
Dragonfly.
too.
Thank you, Heather. It's dragonflycrystal.store, not .com, .store.
Sure.
Store.
Okay.
All righty then.
Dragonfly
I'm done.
crystals dot
Well,
store.
Dot store.
Store. It's a new ending that they have because there's so many.
So Val, where do you get your crystals from?
Oh gosh, I have had these for eons of time, but
No, for your store.
directly. Most of them come directly from Brazil
Brazil.
and from a trusted supplier who supplies. Believe it or not, they supply the crystal room in Mount Shasta, and I used to buy a lot of my things directly through that store in Mount Shasta. But then
I've been there.
I hooked up. Yeah, I hooked up, and I have that supplier who I've always used, and I have boxes and boxes, hundreds of quartz crystals.
Mm-hmm.
I haven't got everything on my website yet, like the
I
pyrite.
forgot to tell you I'm coming to visit you, Val.
Well,
Road trip. I'll
Yeah,
sit
yeah.
down. I'll
Hope you
pick
got
up
lots of
Sherry,
room.
I'll pick up Allison, and then
yeah.
Lana, if you want to join, we'll make a quick detour up and get
Absolutely.
Marina, and we'll just come
Yeah,
straight
sure.
down.
Yeah.
Yeah, you know what bums me? I lived in Phoenix for 10 damn years. I didn't know any of y'all. We could have been visiting all along.
There
No
you go.
kidding.
Well, I think
Yeah.
after Val started off her thing is, maybe I can take off where she left off, because this is really, really kind of synchronistic. It must be, because I too have an opal.
Oh,
I like that.
And yeah, this one, look, it wants to talk. It's just, yeah.
It looks like a penis.
I was just thinking the same thing, but I didn't want to say
Hold
it.
it up, Marina.
Hey,
Let's
hey,
do it
hey.
again.
Sorry, y'all. That just
Yeah,
popped out.
Sherry went there.
Maybe.
It's
Look,
kind of
baby.
phallic.
It is a little phallic. Maybe
Just
that's
a little.
There's a crystal store near me that sells actual quartz crystals in the shape of fully shaped
It's a
penises
Jewish
for
phallic.
ritual
Yeah.
stuff. Yep.
yes. Yeah.
Okay.
So
Sorry,
this-
y'all. That just popped out. I was thinking it. I didn't mean to say it.
Sherry, we're all
Yeah,
adults
right,
here.
Sherry.
It's fine. We're women.
Yeah. So this
Linda.
opal, of course,
Linda
opal is
Gonzalez.
my-
No wonder it
is my
wants to talk.
birthstone. So that was one of the reasons I was drawn to it. But when I went looking for, hi Wendy, for another pendulum, I was in the store and I was walking by where they were, and I just kind of put my hand out, and I swear this thing reached out for me. And I was
Aw.
like, okay,
Mhm.
then you're the one. I stopped looking. You're the one. It has been really, really good at responding, and it just, yeah. Anytime I bring it out, it wants to talk. It wants to answer questions, and it's really good. So
I love the way it looks. I mean, it's very, very beautiful. That beautiful
It is.
Mhm.
opal essence.
yeah, and the top of it, I don't know if you can see it, but the top of it is, you can see all the different colors of the rainbow in there,
Oh yeah,
and then it kind of gets more and more
opaque. Or-
opaque.
yeah.
Yes, yeah, towards the end.
Hold it a little bit higher. Your name was covering up with the
Yeah,
sign. So
yeah,
there
yeah.
you go.
Oh yeah, that's gorgeous.
Yeah.
Okay, see now
It's
you
pretty.
you made me conscious of the fact that but yeah, and when you shine a light through it, you
Mhm.
can see all the colors inside.
Yeah.
So
Right.
Yeah.
Yep. Awesome.
my
I like how
other
synchronistic we are.
oh I know
I have to get my
All the
charger. I'll be
crystals
right
in the
back.
universe. Who
I
would
can.
well,
there's yeah, that's why when you brought it out, I went, oh, I should have known. I should have known.
And I bought an opal ring not that long ago, an opal fire ring.
Yeah.
I love wearing that
Oh,
thing.
gosh,
Every time
I-
I do, somebody compliments me. And
I
it's
adore
That's
opal
that's
fire.
my
not a
stone.
big one. It's a little bitty stone in it, but it's just enough that it,
Oh, wow.
especially if you catch it in the sunlight.
I
Exactly.
absolutely adore those.
Exactly.
They're so
Yeah.
expensive, though. I don't
Yes,
have,
they
Fire
are.
opal? Yeah.
And of course, they're my favorite stone.
they're so beautiful.
I actually brought some
My
of mine out.
other favorite, of course, is amethyst.
Yes. Absolutely.
And and this there's again story with this when I first started to sort of get back into tarot, and I think I don't know if I've told you guys the story before, but my son was taking the dog regularly to the dog park, and he met up with this lady who would also take her dog, and so on and so forth. Well, she started to channel my father. So Chris would come home and ask me questions, and I would say yes. And finally, I said, I really need to meet this woman. So we had arranged that, yes, she was going to come over for coffee one day after they finished the dog park walk. And it was probably about 4 or 5 days before she was supposed to come over that I just got this message that said, tell her to go with a darker color. And I thought, no, I don't even know this woman. I can't possibly. No. But it just kept coming up, and it was like in the pit of my stomach. So I, 2 days before she was scheduled to come over, I sent her a text message, and I said, look, you're probably going to think I'm weird, but I got a message, and it said, go with a darker color. And she responded saying, LOL, you'll see when I get there. So she came over for coffee, and as we were chatting, she pulled out this little satchel or whatever, and she said, here, this is for you. And this is what she had made.
Oh.
Yeah. And she said, as she decided that that's what she was going to gift me with, she was sort of hesitating between the amethyst and the pink quartz, and wasn't sure which one. And she said, yeah, the message was bang on, go with the darker color.
You know why? Because
Yeah.
it's the crown chakra.
Yeah. It just, I don't wear them all the time, but I certainly wear them when I want to feel really grounded and really connected. That's when I'll put them on.
Wow.
So,
See, these are stories I love to hear,
I love
especially
that
with
story.
crystals.
yes,
That is
yeah,
just
because
amazing.
they're, and like you all have said, there's no right or wrong. You go with what you feel. Never mind, what someone says, oh no, that's not good for this or not good for that. Go with what you feel.
Go with your first
Just
feeling.
like with your oracle and tarot cards, you have the guidebook to
Yes.
kind of help you if you're not, in a moment where what you typically associate with that card, doesn't seem to be resonating with the reading, but that card is there for a reason, then to go grab the book. So when you're working with crystals, use it as like a guideline, but also make sure that, just like your cards and anything else, you go with what your intuition is telling you and what your body is telling you, I need this crystal for.
Exactly.
Very true. Exactly.
Exactly. My other is the this is the Angel Aura quartz.
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
I get pieces of those.
Yes.
I think I
And
have one
this-
of everyone.
Oh, you probably do.
I've got
And it says Angel Aura is an excellent aura cleanser and acts to stimulate and clear all of the chakra energy centers. It is said to assist one in communicating with angels, facilitating conscious contact with angels, spirit guides, and inner realm teachers. And yeah, this is what I was, excuse me. When Val and I first started talking about this energy thing that was happening, before we did our show, that this is what I was holding in my hand and trying to ground myself. So I like that. And there's other ones. Everything has its purpose, but those are my favorites.
Ooh, thank you for sharing.
Yeah, wow.
I'm enjoying this lady so very much. Thank you for agreeing to the crystals.
Oh, absolutely.
Oh, thank you for suggesting it.
Yeah.
So Ivana or Allison. Sorry, it's been a long day.
Oh, that's okay. I'll go, or you can go, Ivana.
Go
Either
ahead,
way.
Allison. I'm in
Okay.
no rush.
Like many of you, I've got so many that, and for different reasons. Some it's just, I felt drawn to it. Some I needed it. Some I was like, oh, that's pretty. So, and as you guys know, I don't buy or spend often. So what I have is special. A lot of it I've had a long time. Probably my favorite, and I don't have any large pieces yet, but I'm hoping to acquire some. My son's in Arizona. And Val, you might even have some big pieces, but it's a chrysocolla.
Oh, yeah.
Oh,
Yeah,
yes, I have
I
several.
have some of that.
This is wonderful for healing women's issues, physical issues, trauma, pain, emotional pain, that sort of thing, supposedly. Also good for working with the throat chakra and the
Love that
thymus
color.
gland, your thyroid.
Mm.
So here's another piece. It's much lighter. It has all these little dark inclusions and whatever, and they're just very, very pretty. It's mined in a lot of different places, but it is mined in Arizona. So I'm hoping to go visit my son and be led to the place to get myself a nice big. I want a substantial piece, something I can hold in my hand. This is. I'm hesitant to even say a favorite, but this is right up there. Chrysocolla to me is gorgeous.
It's gorgeous.
As well as
color.
what it does. It's just, I don't know. I just think it's fantastic.
Mhm.
So,
I have a couple of pieces of opalized chrysocolla that I brought.
oh, nice.
They're very tiny.
And for the life of me, I'm drawing a blank and I know it, but it's just, I don't know. Again, I had COVID like 3 weeks ago, so that's probably part of it.
Oh my goodness, I'm sorry.
This is, it's okay. It wasn't that bad, but still it has left me kind of fuzzy mentally.
That's how
So,
I've been. Yes.
this is a type of hematite and the name is escaping me, but as you can see, it has white in it.
Snowflake.
And it has I don't know, kind of. And then it's got a spot where it's funny. It almost looks like there's places where like the paint's rubbed off or
Oh,
something.
yeah.
But
It's not spectrolite, is it? 'Cause I
it
know-
has, no, I can't, it'll come to me maybe while we're sitting here. I hope. It's so beautiful. You can almost scry with it. It is reflective. I just love this. We have a annual gem show here in Ann Arbor, Michigan, and we haven't had it in the last few years because of COVID. But I got this at the last one. And this is a big deal for me to spend the money to do this. I love this sphere. And it sits on a little piece of jade. I love these little stands. I like jade as well. But that's so that chrysocolla and that. And then and that's just because I really liked it. I just have a couple little things that I'm just showing. It's not necessarily 3. Tiger's Eye is probably my favorite.
Oh, I guess I'm going to show you then.
Golden tiger's eye. I like them all. I have a palm stone here that's my favorite. I have so many, but it's like I have to pick. Yep, that's cool. I've seen those. Yep, that's really
It was a
cool, Heather.
gift. Yeah, it was a gift.
This one
That's
has
gorgeous.
so much reflection and so much going on in it, way more than any of the other pieces that I have. This piece, if you could see it live, especially outside, it's crazy.
Yeah.
And then I have a tourmaline. This is very special to me. It's a palm stone. It's just tourmaline, but I absolutely love this for grounding and protection. And anytime I'm doing anything or I'm feeling anything kind of funny, I got this with me. And then the other thing, it's so cliche, but whatever. I've got an amethyst here. And it's just because it's so cool. It has a very large inclusion on it. That's a quartz. And
Wow.
it's just very cool.
Very pretty.
Yeah.
It is.
Well,
And
it does
then
kind
I
of look
have-
like a vagina too. It's that,
It
that
does.
Mother Earth.
It absolutely,
It's the Mother Earth.
it does. I've had so many people be like, yeah, that's kind of vagina-ish. It's like, yeah, it is. It is.
Yeah.
And if you could see it, it definitely is. And then I have selenite,
Yeah.
Yeah,
different
selenite's
kinds,
good for
rose
cleansing
selenite.
crystals.
I have regular selenite. I've got a bunch
Yeah.
of them. And this is
We
one
go
that I
with brown
have. And I'm
Venus
not
one.
about the shapes really, but
That's
I have
gorgeous.
this, which is special because if you know selenite, it's very delicate. It's hard to carve. It
Right.
likes to break. It likes to
Yeah.
fall apart. You can't get it wet, blah, blah, blah. But I have towers, stones,
I have a tower, too.
wands, all kinds of stuff. But I love selenite.
Mhm.
And but most of these I love for grounding and protection. This is great for return to sender. I don't know if any of you do any kind of well, I'll just
I
never
need
mind.
to do that. So the
This
tiger's
is
eye. Okay,
fabulous for sending people their junk back. Here you go.
there we go.
You can
Yeah.
it works really well.
Yeah, I like to use my
So,
tiger's
yeah.
eye pendulum. It tends to work best when it's more political or generic questions. And when it's personal, it seems like my rose quartz works better.
Allison, do you use pendulums?
No, I have one that I bought a long time ago, and I just don't. I'll just say no.
Okay.
No.
Well, yeah, because there's some people who feel like their energy, their subconscious might be too strong, and it can influence the reading, the spin of the
It just-
pendulum,
I
and then
just-
some, just different preferences.
I don't know. It doesn't resonate with me, and I think some people. I
Okay.
think it's great for some people, and then other people, I think that they really get tied up to it, and they really think it's this and that, and they use it for everything, and it's just like it can be
Yeah.
a little. Yeah, and actually that's not even the reason. I just don't do it because I did all this stuff trying to charge it, trying to do this, whatever. I got nothing from it, nothing. So I just took it as that's a no for you.
Well, that was a different.
Yeah.
It wasn't meant for you to
Yeah,
do that
exactly.
type of divination,
But I know some people love it.
Yeah.
like Marina and her beautiful one.
Yeah.
And of course, Sherry, she's
Yeah.
got three. I got
Yeah,
like three or
like
four
Marina,
of them.
yours talks to you. And maybe I just don't have the right one, but I don't know. Some stuff you're just drawn to it, other stuff you're just not. I think it's just not my thing.
We're all different energy. That's
Yep.
the whole
Yeah.
thing. That's
Exactly.
why people
Yep.
with crystals is that we're all made of crystal. We have crystal in our bodies, but
Yeah.
because our energy centers are different, our genetic makeup is different. We're going to be affected by different crystals in different ways. Some more strongly than others. Like people with moldavite, some people can't even go near it. Some people
Yes.
can wear it and not be affected by it. So
Can I
it's
comment
just
about
depending.
moldavite?
Okay,
I actually do have something to say about moldavite.
go for it.
It's just a general comment, and I'm sure you guys all already know this, but people be very, very careful about buying moldavite.
Mhm.
You need to buy from a reputable seller. Do not
Yes.
order it online.
Thanks
Know
to
who
TikTok.
has it, where they got it from, know that it's real. They need to be able to talk to you about it. They need to tell you about it. They need to be able to put it under a loop or in it, whatever, and show you. Because I'll tell you what, most people that have moldavite don't have moldavite.
Yes. Exactly.
I don't even know what it is.
There's
Well,
an
TikTok
amazing
made
store
it.
near me in Ipsy, which is right next to Ann Arbor, and they sell it. It's behind a lock and key. They know all about it. Everybody that works there knows their stuff. I love that store. But anyhow,
Yeah.
It's extremely expensive when it's real.
Yes.
So, and I'm not going to name any names, but like there's a couple people online here on YouTube and they talk about their Moldavite and wearing their Moldavite. And it's like, that's
Yes.
not Moldavite. It's
Now,
just,
I got my
it's
Moldavite when
sorry,
it first started
It's a
coming
just
out.
not.
tektite. It's a tektite it's a meteor that fell in I think
Yeah.
Russia, the Ukraine or
Yeah,
Russia.
in
And
yeah,
that-
in Moldau.
it's,
Yeah.
it's classified as a tektite. And
It's very
I bought
rare.
mine- very
Just
rare.
hold
I
it
bought,
right here.
yeah, I bought mine years and years ago, and
Let me
it
put this up.
is spacey. Let
Yeah.
me tell
Yeah.
you right now.
Very,
Mhm.
very strong.
It's so
You can
strong.
feel it
I
when you're
put it on
standing
and you
by
can
it
feel
at
it.
the store.
Yeah.
When you're
Yeah.
standing by it at the store,
Yes.
and I don't pick up on stuff like that. I'm
Yeah.
the first to admit it.
Yes.
I'm so
Yeah.
earthy, you
Yeah.
know.
Yes.
And you know, like you talk about, oh, and you do this and you can channel that. I'm like, yeah, you can do that, but I can't do that. But
Yeah.
but like this Moldavite, it's so strong. Even Allison, me, I mean, you can. It's
that
like
strong.
it's crazy.
It's
Yeah.
crazy.
So
I just had to
Moldavite's
say
from the
that.
Czech Republic,
Yes.
near Moravia, and the problem with Moldavite today is that some couple people on TikTok were really going on about Moldavite, and with TikTok, like with other, platforms and whatnot, everybody had to go out and get a piece of Moldavite, and not realizing that Moldavite comes from only one area, and it has a limited source. And so what people have been doing has been making resin
Green glass.
copies. Yes.
Green
So
glass.
I was lucky when Moldavite first started really coming into the market was when I worked at Crystal Magic. So the price that I paid, even though I got it for half off, was still, a pretty little penny. But I did get a piece. So Allison's right. Please be very aware of if you want a piece, where to go to. And because of the mass market now, people are like really raising their prices to be able to, and those who, want to make an easy buck, they'll make resin. So just be very aware.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I got mine like 20 years ago before
Yeah.
anybody cared.
Yeah.
We
Like
had
that.
I know when I worked for that jewelry wholesaler, one of the sales ladies made a point of telling us about when moissanite first came out. It
Mhm.
looks exactly like a diamond, even through a loop. It looks exactly like a diamond. You have to run a special test on it to determine if it's a diamond or moissanite.
What stone?
It's moissanite. It's a lab created diamond. It's lab created diamond. It's made to look like a diamond. And it has all of the same type of characters within it and everything, but it's lab created. It's not a
And I have to
natural stone.
I have to say, in defense of lab created things, if you know for a fact,
Yeah.
there is a energy and a purpose for that creation.
Beautiful lab created stones out there.
And
I'm not knocking that, but this woman had this antique diamond necklace and brooch that her grandmother had left her.
yeah,
And she took it to a jeweler to have it cleaned and have the stones reset because the settings were loose because it was so old. About a month after she got it back, she took it to an insurer's, a jewelry insurer to get it insured.
Uh-oh.
And when they got it and they started doing the tests, because they have to test all that stuff
Mhm.
before they
Yeah.
insure it,
Mhm.
they discovered that man not only overcharged her for the work that he did on the pieces, but he took all of,
Oh boy.
he took all of the diamonds out of her brooch and her necklace and replaced it with
Oh,
That's bad.
and
front door.
because it was diamonds that were over 100 years old,
Oh my God.
that it was, the value of them was that much higher,
My phone's
and
Well,
it just
diamonds are
really
ancient,
struck me.
period, though.
It's like, who thinks to even test for that, or why would you do
Yeah.
that to somebody?
Yeah, that's horrible.
That's just really so. Yeah, you have to be careful when you're buying stuff.
Really
Especially
quick,
if you find
Ivana, I don't mean to
things-
interrupt, Sherry. My phone is about to die. I still have a charge on my iPad. Could you put the link for StreamYard and I'll pop back in through my iPad in the chat?
Yeah, I can do that.
Or okay, so I'll be right back.
Okay.
There's something interesting here in this book about Moldavite
Mm-hmm. Go
that
ahead.
I'll read if anybody wants to hear it. If
Sure,
not,
go for it.
Yes, absolutely.
okay. I just thought this was interesting, and this is about having holding some Moldavite, what people experience, whatever. I'll just read this little paragraph here. Well, it's a decent paragraph, but anyways, it says people who hold Moldavite for the first time most often experience its energy as warmth or heat, usually felt first in one's hands and then progressively throughout the body. In some cases, there is an opening of the heart chakra, which is characterized by strange, though not painful, sensations in the chest, an upwelling of emotion, and a flushing of the face. This has happened often enough to have been given a name, the Moldavite flush. Other ways of feeling Moldavite's energies include pulsations in the hand while holding the stone, tingling in the third eye and heart chakras, a feeling of lightheadedness or dizziness, and occasionally the sense of being lifted out of one's body. Most people feel that Moldavite excites their energies and speeds their vibrations, especially for the first days or weeks until one becomes acclimated
Yeah,
to it.
that's what happens.
However, some individuals, especially starborns, find that Moldavite relaxes them as if it were a little piece of home. That's
Oh.
very
That gave me the
interesting.
chills.
Yeah, me too.
Because some people say, oh, it's too strong. Well, they probably just haven't waited long enough to acclimate.
Yeah.
Whereas other
Yeah.
people find it very calming to begin with because they are,
Yeah.
star seeds
Yeah.
or whatever. So,
Yeah.
That's how I was in
That's
Sedona
interesting.
at one of the vortexes. Everyone's like, be prepared, be careful. I started climbing up one of them. I was a little, but when I got to the top and I sat there for a few minutes, after that, I could just feel the energy just gradually and my body adjusting. And after that, every time we went to that one particular location, I just felt that natural warmth of the energy. I was able to, my body was able to acclimate or, connect with it. But yeah, we had a customer in Crystal Magic. She put on a ring. And after a few, I think it was maybe a minute or something, she's like, oh my God, get this thing off of me. She goes, I feel like I'm going to faint. We had to grab her a chair. We had to grab her some water and we had to sit her down. And it took her a good, 10 minutes or so to be able to feel like she could stand up and, you
Wow.
know. So, yeah.
Yeah, that's fantastic. It's a lot of energy.
I just
Can
want
I intervene for a
mention-
minute? And everybody, today is Teresa's birthday.
I was just going to say
Teresa
that.
who?
Yeah.
So
Teresa.
happy birthday, Teresa.
Happy birthday.
happy birthday.
I'm not
So
going to
which
sing, and
Teresa,
that's your
TK
present.
or Teresa Levine? TK or Teresa Levine? I don't have
TK.
TK?
TK.
Oh,
Yeah.
birthday hugs, TK.
Yeah, absolutely.
Oh,
And hi to all the
She's so
folks that came in. Laura,
Yes.
Bora,
Yes.
Jess
Wow.
Lee.
Oh, poor
I don't
boy.
know.
I can't see now.
Everyone,
My late husband was very sensitive to metals and stuff. He couldn't hold like pocket change, especially pennies. He couldn't hold them in his hands. He would taste it within seconds.
Yeah, a lot of people
Wow.
are
They
like
would
that.
literally, you could watch him with a handful of copper pennies and watch them turn green in his hand.
Val, what is that?
wow.
And he couldn't put a watch on. If he put a watch on, it would start going backwards and then die.
Oh, I love all that.
It just,
Why does that happen?
it's something about too much alkaline in the skin
Yeah,
or
something like
something with the chemical.
Okay.
Yeah, it's electricity.
Imbalance?
Maybe
So
Oh.
it's a mineral imbalance of some sort.
Yeah, yeah.
Wow.
A reaction,
But
maybe is
he
a better
couldn't.
word.
He couldn't hold metal stuff. He couldn't wear a wedding ring. He even tried to get one that was like 18 karat, thinking that it would
Yeah,
be better. Nope, it turned green.
some people can't wear I think Andrea, Lilac Lantern, she can only wear nickel or something because something.
Yeah.
And I know some people are like that, like with metals. Like, and I know some people are okay with platinum when they're not okay with gold.
Yeah.
Wow.
A lot of times you can protect it if you get like clear fingernail polish and
Oh,
you can
yeah.
paint it on the areas that's going to touch your skin
Mhm.
and, you know,
Yeah.
let it dry real good, get a good thick coat on it.
Mhm.
And then you can wear that piece of jewelry and it doesn't bother you, but not always. And you have to kind of keep up. Does it need a touch up? You know, and it's
Yeah.
probably not very good for the jewelry to keep
Yeah.
painting it with your fingernail polish. So
Oh, metal's not going to care. I wouldn't think, anyways.
Yeah.
So Ivana.
Real metal.
Well, I actually used this book called Akashic Records Gemstone Guardians by Cheryl.
Oh,
Ooh.
It just came out, and what she did was she took a number of crystals and opened up the Akashic Records for them.
Oh,
And
cool.
then that's what the book is. So the first one that I picked, first one that I have is Moldavite.
Oh, I love it.
Cute. Cute.
And what she says is it's star power, of course, right?
Of course.
And it said that as Moldavite came, it does. Of course, it's not from our galaxy. I mean, it came in, you know, on a
Yeah.
comet or whatever, and but it says that the message she got was that it said we hold the seeds of the stars and the death memories of universes long past.
Ooh, that gave me the chills.
I
Oh,
know.
I
I
need
was
to
like,
pull
how
mine
cool
out
is
now.
that?
I gotta find it. Wow.
And then she says that the message that Moldavite has for humanity is being different, move beyond the limits of fear onto your path for tomorrow.
Ooh.
That's
I like that.
I
yeah,
like
there's
that.
of course there's a whole
I gotta get me
chapter on
this
it.
book.
Yeah, you go on her website. It's CherylMarlene.com,
I wonder
and
if
she
it's at
sells
Barnes and Noble.
That's cool.
and yeah, so that was the first one I had. And then I have this piece of quartz, which of course everybody loves quartz.
Yeah.
Quartz is the word.
Quartz. Everybody loves quartz.
I didn't mean to do that. Dun-dun-dun. But I did get this from somebody from over the internet, but somebody from Arkansas. And what the woman does is she picks from her, you know, warehouse or whatever she has, but she writes up like all the stuff that's on it. Like she reads the quartz for you. But she said she went 3 times past this. Like she went back to this one 3 times. This one just I want to be, you know, be my quartz. So this is how she picked it. I love it. It fits in my hand perfectly. I just love it. And again, with Cheryl, you know, with the book here, so you know, it said quartz means clear light, and that this quartz is the first gemstone expression in the very first incarnation of Earth. And
Oh, wow.
quartz
Other earth
founded
spoons.
the Gemstone Guardian Council. Quartz holds space for and educated other gemstones to accept their individual possibilities and mandates. So with quartz, it says light brings clarity and helps eliminate fear. So that was my second one. And I did also have this. This is amethyst with citrine in it. I don't know if you can see.
Oh,
that.
Emmetrine.
Oh, that's neat.
Ametrine, yeah.
Is that what it's called?
Ametrine.
Amethyst?
Yes.
So I love, I got
Love
this
that.
also. I don't remember even where I got it, but it really, it almost one of those that found me. But it keeps telling me that it wants me to make a pendant out of it.
Yes.
Where-
I was thinking, what a beautiful pendant that would make.
It won't shut up.
Have it wire
Just
wrapped.
take it to
So
a
I'm
reputable
meeting
jeweler
with
to do
somebody
it.
next week to see if we can't get this into some kind of format for a pendant, because I'm like, I have to wear it. It keep I
Yes.
just can't, like, all right already, I'm working on it, right? So that was that's crystal. And then this isn't exactly a crystal, but it has a beautiful story to it. So I was in my backyard one day and I was doing work. Let me see how I can hold it the best way. And I saw this like stone. And it was like this. It was like in the ground this way, okay? And it said to me, pull me out of the earth, right? So I was doing my yard work, and when I got done, I said, okay, let me dig this. I have no idea how big it is. I have no idea what it looks like, whatever. I dug it up, and it's in the shape of a heart. And Mother Earth gave me this beautiful
Oh, I
stone.
love that.
As a
know.
thank you.
That's cute.
That's beautiful.
So I always have this too in my little grouping here. But so that's about it. But I love crystals. I don't know a lot about them, but I just love them, and I love how they amplify my energy, but also ground me. And they truly, to me, have their own personality.
Oh yeah, they do.
Talk to me, and it's just nice. It's just a nice. I can see that book that I think you have about love from the earth, or love is it from the earth? Yeah,
Love
absolutely.
it. Yeah, melody, love is in the earth.
Yeah, that's absolutely
Yeah.
Mother Earth Gaia giving us. And I asked Cheryl Marlene once. I said, "Are we supposed to have these crystals? Like take them, like from where they're in the earth?"
Yeah.
And she said,
Right.
"Absolutely, they want that." Or
They're like gifts to us. It's-
Yeah,
Good,
so it
I'm
would
glad.
not be
Yeah.
Because some
Yeah.
places just blow the earth up. They just go right in, they rip them out. And I shudder sometimes. I think that might be sometimes the energy I feel with going into certain stores and places where, oh, it's so beautiful, but when you hold it, there's not, as nice of an energy going to other places where
Yeah.
I picked up crystals and feeling, a beautiful energy warmth to them.
Yes. Yeah.
Really quick, Ivana, in your book, does it say, do they give anything for, I'm looking right at it, opals? Is that included in her book?
Yeah. Let me see. Yeah.
Sorry, Allison.
I
Yeah.
was saying my
saw your
son,
heart.
my son brought this home for me when he was
That's
little,
cute.
See?
Oh, you're connected.
and he was
Oh,
so
hearts.
excited to give it to me. He was like 8 or 9 at the time. He's like, "Mommy, I brought you a heart."
Yes. I love
That's
that.
so sweet.
I
You
just
know
wanted
what's
to share
weird is
that.
I used to, if I saw a pretty
Beautiful.
rock or something laying on the ground, I would just pick it up and bring it home.
Yep.
And I
Yeah,
didn't
Too.
think about it. And it wasn't until I got involved with this community and started talking to people who deal with gems and rocks and stuff. And they were like, you have to ask permission to take it from where it's at. And I
Well,
went,
depending
I
on
do.
where
And
it
they were
is.
like, yeah, it's
Just
just
try to leave something in its place. whether
right.
it's a
And so
penny,
since I
hair,
started doing
or-
that, I found that it makes a big difference. And I went back to all the rocks that I do have and proceeded to apologize to them.
Aw.
Good thing nobody saw me; they would have put me in a rubber room. But I was literally telling all of them, "I'm sorry. I took you from your home. I didn't know any better, So
Oh
But-
yeah.
it feels like they forgave me. So I don't get any negative.
Absolutely. I mean,
I
that's
don't
one thing
get
that
any negative
is
off
is
of
that
them,
that's
so.
why they make themselves accessible,
Mhm.
because they want to be found and they want to be used and help
They
us.
want to be partners.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Right.
So
Yes,
I'll
Bree
go
says my
now,
husband and I
oh,
collect heart-shaped rocks. It's kind of our thing.
who
That's
does?
Aw,
sorry. Go ahead. Yeah.
That's
No,
cool.
lovely.
Who collects
Yeah.
them? Oh, ow.
Oh,
I-
so opal, it says, is
Sorry.
heart fire, and
So where's
it
my
says
camera now?
one quick paragraph for opal. It just says, in a world where, and
I
there's
love my
plenty
opal.
more here, but it says, in a world where fear perpetuates fear, we're here to challenge this assumption and to foster the connection inherent with all manifestation as we enjoy our intrinsic connection with one another.
Oh.
And let's see. Oh, and the message, Opal's message for humanity is, love is the fire of free personal expression.
Woo!
And I'm an artist. Yes.
Wow, that's very cute.
Nice.
Yeah, I like
I
that.
loved
I've
Yeah,
always
this is a great
Opal.
book. I'm really
Yeah.
enjoying it. And
That's really
oh,
good.
she came out with this book, and then she's got cards too to go with it.
Nice.
Oh,
Yeah.
See, now
Like
I grew
oracle
up
cards.
in love with opals, but my mother had this superstition that if it's not your birthstone and you have it or you wear it, you're going to get bad luck.
Oh,
It wasn't until I was in my adult later on that I'm like, I can get me an opal now, So,
Oh my goodness.
and there's all different kinds. There's the one
Yes,
that's got the
there's
fire.
many.
Mm.
Yeah, that's beautiful.
It's kind of hard
Very
to see.
gorgeous.
That is beautiful.
You can see the
Um,
green fire in that.
Yeah.
You can
Yeah.
see-
There's all
Yeah.
different kind. There's the green. There's when the light hits it. There's a beautiful red, pink,
Yeah.
yellow. Now this is also an opal. It doesn't have fire, but it's a pink opal. Some of my favorites. Some of my Peruvian or Andean opals.
Mhm.
Um,
Pretty.
this one here is a blue. It doesn't have a lot of fire in it, but it's watery. I love that. Well,
Yeah.
I'm a fire sign,
Mhm.
2 fire signs and a water, so I get it. And the ones too here really quick before I show the other ones. Also, this one here, it's a little harder to see the
Oh,
fire,
that's
but
gorgeous.
it's a fire. And
Yeah.
one of these days, I'm going to see if I can maybe wire wrap that.
Very
Oh, we
it's
got
very
a
thin
fire
and
truck
brittle.
here. Hold on.
Oh,
I don't know why.
Fire opal fire truck. And so,
Good.
oh my
I would have to say turquoise is probably my second
And
favorite
I was
after
going to show Val.
after
Wait till Val
pearls.
gets back because these are opalized. There we
Those
go.
are beautiful.
So,
Yeah.
not Val. Sorry, Val. Allison.
Al.
These are my opalized chrysocolla. It's kind of hard to see. There's
Ooh,
no fire, but it's very watery on the inside. So
Very
you can
nice.
see some of the. Oops.
I
some
love
of that
everything
in there.
blue. I'm an easy sell with blue.
My other favorite is, of course, rose quartz. The one piece I want to share, I've shared with other people before. This was a gift for me just before I left Arizona. This came from Sedona, where I did my Reiki training. And I fell in love with it. I didn't have the money for it. The woman working gave to me and said, "Our gift to you on your
Aw.
journey."
Wow.
And this
That
was like
is
over
wonderful.
$50. So I was just kind
Yeah,
of like,
that's
"Are you
beautiful.
sure?" So
Yeah.
it's a beautiful pink
It's gorgeous.
rose
Yeah.
quartz, and I love rose quartz. And rose quartz is good for love, not just between, not more like a passionate, but for like friendships, and especially for self-love. And YouTube, of course, entertainment purposes only, but rose quartz is really good for people who are struggling with self-love. And it's probably why I have so many pieces sometimes, but I just love it. It's translucent. It's this beautiful, watery. Again, it's like an opal. This beautiful
Yeah.
color. And I actually had a woman I used to be friends with. I actually took the Reiki with her. It's a teardrop. It's flat on the back, and she actually got this for me from Glaston when she was in Glastonbury. And she took it into one of the crop circles for me.
Oh, very cool.
Wow.
Thanks.
When I asked her, "Do you remember which one?" She says, "Not sure. Let me get back to you." And of course, we ended up, losing contact and stuff. But this one, apparently, she said she took into one of the crop circles. And of course, this piece handed down to me from my mom, from a friend of hers, who I miss and loved very much. So that's really special to me. And like I said, I have so many. It was like trying to pick, who's your favorite.
Favorite child. Yeah.
And the last one that I did bring, okay, I won't forget you. Don't worry. Is this?
Oh,
This
nice.
is Larry got these from this is when I was at Crystal Magic. From what remember what Larry said, if I'm correct, from the Mount St. Helens volcano ash they had collected, they reheated, added water, and created. And he had these in the spheres, and he also had them in like a diamond shape with the facets on it.
Wow.
But Shannon goes, "Get that one." I said, "No, I love the spheres. I love circles. They're a part of my artwork. They're a
Yeah.
natural shape
I
for,
love spheres. Yeah.
for femininity and everything." And of course, it's green, but it's also got blue in it. So again, the water. And times when I really need to be calm or relax, I hold this. I'm not good with scrying with, the spheres and everything, but for me, all I really need to do is just hold it. Or I have a crystal somewhere. It's an amethyst that actually called to me. I was opening up the store one morning and I heard a "hey," and I'm looking, and my direction was towards, the amethyst section in my department, and my eyes just like locked with this one crystal. And I was like, "Yes." And I came and said, "Oh, you want to go with me?" "Yes." "Okay, you're coming home with me." So,
Yeah.
That's mine. Because I could go on, and I've already talked enough in between with everybody's crystals. But yes, to me, rose quartz is a really important one to have. And of course, the quartz crystal, like Val said, you can charge those, for anything. They're programmable. So
Yeah.
if you need something, for protection and you don't have the money for, a tourmaline or, an obsidian or anything, if you just have, quartz crystal, just say, "I need, protection. please put the energy of protection and, and do it that way. So, but yeah. And selenite is really good. And so is amethyst for cleansing crystals. And
One of
Allison's
the
right.
first-
Do not put your selenite in water to charge because it's gypsum and it will melt.
Yeah.
That's the thing. Don't put it.
It's
in
just
the
delicate in general, but yeah.
Water. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So
This was
I-
one of the first pieces I bought for myself whenever I kind of found this community, and it's see if I can get it to show up here. It's moonstone.
Oh,
Oh, yeah.
Ooh.
I love moonstone. I have
Yeah.
a lot of
Yeah.
those pendants.
Then I found a ring to go with it,
Nice.
and then I found a set of earrings to go with it.
Mhm.
None of them came from
It's
the
got the
same
whole
place, the same
ensemble.
store, but they all together. I love them, and
Love moonstone.
Yeah.
yeah.
Mhm. That was one of the first I ever got. Yep. Coming out of high school. Ooh, amethyst, moonstone. What is this? So yeah. That's when, the metaphysical stores, the Wiccan stores were starting to become acceptable. And, there were a couple, in Buffalo that I would go to and I would get pendants, before I even really got into learning about crystals. So
There's
Yeah,
one
there
thing
was
I'd like to mention. It's just coming to mind because this is something I experienced. Is for anybody that's drawn to citrine, that's another one you got to be very careful about
Mhm.
because they do Val, you probably know they like bake the heck out of a piece of amethyst because amethyst is really inexpensive.
Yeah.
And then they try to
Yep.
pass it off as citrine because it looks like citrine after they bake the heck out of it, and it's
Yep.
all orange and white, and they call it
That's true.
citrine, and it's not. It's nothing but a dead piece of amethyst.
Oh,
and a
So
natural
just-
citrine is more like a brown color, right?
Yeah.
Allison?
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
like a orangey amber
Yeah.
color. I'm sure Val can talk more about it, but
Yeah.
it's just it's which is why I'm not that you can't buy online, and I love Etsy and this and that, and I've ordered things. Well, not just a couple times, but like I always like going to someplace and buying it from either a
Yeah.
vendor that I trust or just a store that I trust or whatever. I mean, if you're just buying it, you think it's pretty, that's one thing. But if you want to know that it has true metaphysical properties and it's not a dead stone, because apparently you can,
They're heat treated. Yeah.
Yeah.
it's damaged then. And again, it depends on what your beliefs are and all of that and whatever. But I do think you can have some. I can hold stuff in. I can pick up that much energy off of something or pick up something and it just. There's nothing. It's just not. No, it's just that I'm not connecting to it, or if it's just been abused so that it doesn't really hold anything at that point, or what it is. But yeah, citrine's one. It's not like moldavite where it's really totally manipulated, but be careful buying citrine if it's being passed off as citrine that it's
Oh.
citrine.
And thank you, Allison. Turquoise. Be careful
Yeah,
that
they
when
dye
you go
it.
to the stores,
Yeah.
they dye a stone called howlite.
Yep.
Because
Howlite.
howlite has black veins in it.
Yep.
And I actually stopped a friend of mine from buying a necklace in a store in Buffalo because she goes, "Oh, look at this pretty turquoise," and she was going to get it. And I said, "That's not turquoise. That's actually probably dyed howlite. I can look at it right now." And the store owner or manager, whatever, looked at me, was not happy that I told her that. And I haven't been back in the store since. So be very careful that your turquoise is not dyed howlite. And turquoise comes in different colors too. Like in Arizona, you have the very expensive Sleeping Beauty mine for turquoise. And with it being, worked on land because of the Navajo love using, mostly the turquoise for their jewelry. Just be awares that if you're not buying, especially if you're in Arizona, really, because I lived there for almost 8 years, you really need to make sure that if you want a real authentic piece of turquoise jewelry and you have the money for it, see if you can find, a local artisan that's Navajo Native American, because they stand by their reputation for the jewelry that they make, and know that you will be getting, an authentic piece of, turquoise jewelry.
Yep.
Alrighty.
Absolutely.
And And I have my card. So I fear I was talking to Liz. I don't know. Like I said, I don't know who's in chat. My phone died. Sorry, everybody. But, thank you for coming. And probably I am sure sharing their favorite crystals in chat. But what I figured we could end doing is pulling a card or two. I have a crystal deck, so I'll be pulling from there. And also, too, really quick, I wanted to bring up before we go. Sherry and I were doing a live last night on my channel. I did a pop-up. And Nancy from A Crone's Intuition popped into chat to hang with us. And someone acknowledged her loss, and Sherry and I didn't know what was going on, so we asked Nancy. We just found out that Nancy lost her husband of 43 years at the beginning of March.
Oh my.
And we held space for her for a few moments. So if anybody, happens to see Nancy, or can put Nancy in your thoughts, send her a lot of loving, healing energy her way. She's going through a real rough time. And Sherry, she actually emailed me today and said that something told her to go on last night, to jump into the chat. And she said she was so thankful that she did, because Sherry and I, did a message for her with our cards. And I know it was, her hubby coming through for her, through the both of us.
Oh
for a
God, he
message.
came through so strong.
I mean, I cried.
it was, yeah, you were crying. I was crying. I think everyone in chat was crying. It's one of the strongest connections I've ever made with someone on the other side. I mean, that's still really new for me to feel that. And it was overwhelming. It really was. I mean, he was very strongly, he was like, tell her this. And I was almost scared to say anything because I didn't want to upset her more, because I remember what that feels like. I mean, it's been 22 years since my husband died, but you never forget that feeling. And I was terrified I was going to say something wrong.
Nope.
That would make it worse, and I just kept hearing him in my head saying, no, tell her this, and I did, and it was what she needed to hear.
Yeah.
So,
everybody can just send her, love to her, support, just let her know that she's loved and we're here for her, holding space. And if she needs to talk to, any of us, she knows where to find us. So, alrighty, I just wanted to put that out there so I wouldn't forget before we ended.
Yeah. Very, very quickly, Jess Reed has a question. Is our birthstone the best stone for us to work with, or does it matter? I don't think it matters. I think whatever stones that resonate with you.
I mean, if it does, if your birthstone.
Yeah. Yeah.
Definitely. But if you're drawn to it, like opal's not my birthstone, but that's the strongest stone, one of the strongest stones that I'm connected to.
And the best stone that is good for you to work with changes all the time.
Yes.
Whatever you're needing. So never let that stop you from going toward a stone that you're drawn to.
Like animal totems, they come and they go. Some we have our whole life. Others come in briefly for lessons. They move on and they're replaced by another one. So same thing, with stones. For me, I know opal is kind of like my animal, my totem stone, my spirit stone. And so I embrace that, and work with that, or keep that near me as much as possible.
Birthstones for me is just kind of like a novelty idea.
Yeah.
And they're gemstones.
Somebody made it up.
Exactly. It just feels very.
Let's give March the aquamarine. Yeah.
They're gemstones, and you might be drawn to it, but honestly, I think you're less likely to than.
I'm not drawn to the aquamarine.
And they're updating a lot of them too now. They're like connecting, because Sagittarius for December, I was always blue zircon. But now they're saying the similar energies are turquoise, which I do like. And I think one of them is also, some people are also saying amethyst. So it just basically what resonates with you.
And I'm not even really into gemstones, period, honestly.
I've always thought that when it comes to the birthstones, I like opal, but it's kind of like reading the horoscope in the newspaper.
Yeah,
exactly, Marina.
It may or may not work.
know, this reality, I just glaze over. I'm like, okay.
It's a
I
very
know my
general,
rising, I
super
know my
broad.
sun, I know my moon.
Yeah. Agreed. Yeah.
Okay, who would like to go first?
I can
I'll
go.
go. Or whoever. Just nobody
I
said
don't have
anything.
any, I don't have any crystal cards, but
No, okay. Just
I'm
sending
going
the
to pull
card.
from my Oracle of the Seven Energies, and it just says bearing fruit. I think that's been part of the message with all these crystals today. Just what do they do with these rocks and these crystals? They help us bear fruit. You know, they help point us in the right direction. They help us focus in the right direction. Different ones speak to us differently. It just depends. I mean, I've learned more tonight about rocks and stones than I've known in my entire life because
I've
I
learned some new
knew
things
nothing
through
about it.
Val
So
and
Yeah.
Allison.
I just like shiny, blingy things, and so I have a wide variety of stuff. But yeah, I think it's important to just go with what with what resonates with you.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I get that real strongly with wood, things that are carved out of wood and whatnot. I get
I love wood.
certain pieces, yeah, just really speak
Yeah.
to me,
Yeah.
whereas others just don't. You know, and so I guess it's kind of the same. You know, it's still from the earth.
Hey, Linda Gonzalez just said, yeah, that I sure learned a lot. I hope you guys do this again.
Oh, really? Okay.
Wow, yeah. And
Well,
you know,
Linda
Lots
said
more where
new
that came from.
segment,
and I'm loving it.
called,
Sorry, didn't mean to put. Oh, well, whatever. Oh.
Well,
Yeah,
Linda, I do a
absolutely.
segment called Crystal Visions. I started up just before I got sick, and I want to pick that up again. So if any of you ladies would like to be my guest and pick a stone, Juno was the last one too, and Manasa that did one with me where we pick one or two stones and we talk about it and share what we love about it, share knowledge with everybody with it. So I'm planning on picking that up too. So if anybody would like
Perfect.
to be a guest and come on
Absolutely.
my channel, especially with the Moldavite with Alice. Allison, you know a lot about Moldavite. That would be great.
You know everything I know at this point.
Well, I didn't know what you shared, so that was pretty cool.
Oh, I was reading it out of the Book of Stones.
Oh, okay. Well, the second edition actually has like 3 pages. The main author has a fascination, and he even thinks that possibly the Grail, an actual physical Grail, was made out of Moldavite. I don't think it's an actual physical cup. I think it's more feminine based, you know, sexual, but I digress on that one for another night. So
it's definitely fascinating.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. So Val, you want? I mean, not Val. Oh, why do I keep calling Allison Val? Maybe you were Val in a past life. So okay, whoever wants to go next. Oh,
Sure, I can. Oh, go ahead, Allison.
All right, I'll go ahead. So I drew from. I've been drawn to this one lately. Anytime I don't do tarot, Flowers of the Night Oracle. You guys have all seen this one already.
Yes.
I'm really liking this. But anyways, I drew. We're just doing a collective reading, right?
yeah,
Yeah.
just going on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I drew and I really feel like these go together. I drew Opportunity,
Mm-hmm.
and the flower on this is Night Blooming Jasmine, and then
I love that.
Awareness, and the flower on this is Moonflower Vine. So for some of us or whoever this is for, there's an opportunity that you might not be noticing. There's something there. It could be, you know, maybe following up on a lead on something or, you know, whatever, but it's opportunity and awareness. So to me, when I look at that, it's that there's something there that can be very helpful to you in some way, an opportunity. You just need to be opening your eyes, looking, listening, paying attention. It's there. So for whoever that's for, I feel like that's what the message, it almost feels like that might be for one person in particular, but maybe not. But yeah. Awareness and opportunity.
Lovely. Okay, who'd like to go next?
Oh, I can go next. I pulled from my sacred geometry deck. I don't have a gemstone deck at the moment, but I just happened to get 7, which is crown chakra. And it says the frequency of the crown chakra, the violet flower of light, supports our spiritual connection to the universe and our ability to transmute negative energy into light. And I just feel that that really has to do with like the amethyst and the quartz and all that, taking that negative energy and transmuting it, changing that into light. So, and also the crown chakra. So that's what I got.
I'm going to go after Ivana if everybody doesn't mind, because when you said crown chakra, my first card that I pulled was apophyllite, which connects you to your crown chakra. It's a stone of, it's a crystal of connection. So you have that connection right there already. Then you have, you know, your higher chakra. Then you have your hematite. Make sure that you're grounded. And in the process of grounding, and also it has mental strength on here as well, the prehnite came in for your heart chakra, which is release and declutter. So connecting with your higher self, getting grounded, and releasing what no longer serves you, and connecting with that heart center. And
Nice.
Those are my cards.
Perfect.
Our
Okay.
cards. Okay.
To kind of bring it all together, I got connections.
Nice.
There we go. Connect. Yep.
Yeah. And what really drew my attention was, look, those are crystals or gemstones.
Yeah.
Yeah.
In the hand. I thought,
Mm-hmm.
ooh, perfect.
And they're green, the color of your heart chakra.
Yeah.
And it says partnership, contract, and commitment. So yeah, I think that says it all. And I think that Allison, that might speak to what you were picking up as well for whoever needs to hear it is, make the connection. And I say that because the contract was in there. So
Right.
alrighty.
And I got wellness, jade,
Green.
Green.
There we go. There's all the heart.
which is the recovery of health and wellness. So anything to do with that, your spiritual life, your physical body.
I love jade.
That's a
I
beautiful
love that
card.
card. That's beautiful.
Yeah.
Green
Yeah.
seems to be green, and amethyst purple seem to be our theme here.
Yes.
Got it going on.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
And Sherry, you already went, right?
Yep, I went.
Okay, so anything last what's coming on everybody's channels this week or coming weekend?
Oh, Saturday I am having Gerald of Tarot Stash. Yay! At 9
He's fun.
a.m.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he's awesome.
9 a.m. Pacific time. I can't wait because he's got such a good sense of humor. We'll do some readings for everyone in the chat.
Ooh, awesome.
Yay.
Yeah.
I'll be on the Cool Throne Friday night for her polyterology.
Heather's
So I'll be
Stash.
doing the politics thing Friday night. I don't do that a whole lot, but and then of course Saturday is Allie's book club that she's doing. So
Nice.
we're having our first official meeting after reading a book.
Now, Val, you and
Okay.
Marina
And-
do your on Thursdays, right?
Yes, yeah.
Okay,
Val and
I'm
I
still
are
Right.
on, and this week will be on Val's channel.
Yeah.
So that will be nice. And then on 4 p.m. Mountain Standard Time on Saturday, I have got Stouffer Cavins coming on.
Nice.
Very
Yeah.
good.
And then on the Monday, I've got Kevin from the Healing Mediums. So
Oh.
yeah,
Nice.
few little
Yeah,
things
he's a
coming
cutie.
up.
Yeah.
So yeah, looking
He's a
forward
good
to that, and looking forward to tomorrow.
Oh, I managed to get in touch with Helen, Irish Granny Tarot,
Yeah,
and she's gonna do a collaboration with me. We're gonna do a recording. She prefers that to a live. I said, whatever you want to do, darling. I'm it. So
Yeah.
Aw.
we got a recording scheduled to come up and
Oh.
talk about. I don't know. I told her whatever you want to talk about, we will talk about it. I was just thrilled that she responded and said yes. So
perfect.
And I'm going to be a guest on Ginger Faye's channel tomorrow evening at 5 p.m. She does a lot of like readings with mixing tarot and paranormal, kind of like a tarot normal, kind of like yours. So
Okay.
we were supposed to get together that first weekend when I got sick. So a month and a half later, she's been very kind and patient, and we're finally going to do it tomorrow night. So
Nice.
going to put
Very
together.
nice.
And Ivana, did I miss you? Are you?
Well,
doing
I
anything?
have my usual weekly reading coming up, and then on Tuesday, I skipped this past Tuesday, but this Tuesday I'll be doing my little pre-recorded show. I'm going to do sacred geometry, so that's like a part 1 because you can't do everything in like 20 minutes or on sacred
Yeah.
geometry.
And next month, we got to get back to the moon. I'm sorry about missing the moon readings, but I'm starting to finally get like my energies in the right
Okay,
place now.
that sounds good.
So
Absolutely.
we'll reconnect for the full moon in
Okay, very good.
for the month. So I know I've been missing that. I miss reading with you. when
I
we do
know,
that.
I do too.
So well, I guess
Perfect.
that's it.
Yeah.
Alrighty.
That's it. Say thank you for coming,
Okay.
everybody.
Yay, thank you.
Okay, everybody have a good night.
Bye, y'all.
Bye.